3 months after the last alien ship fled Earth's atmosphere, Baekdu Valley looked peaceful again. But anyone who knew what to look for could see that everything had changed. Park Do-yun stood in his rebuilt hardware store, but now it also served as a military supply depot. Farmers came to buy seeds and tools, but they also picked up ammunition and communication equipment. The shelves held both farming supplies and advanced weapons captured from the aliens. "Morning, Do-hyun," called Mrs. Kim as she entered the store. She needed fertilizer for her garden and batteries for her new alien tech motion sensors. Kim Yoonji's medical clinic had expanded into a research facility. She still treated sick animals and injured people, but she also studied alien biology and technology. Her work with the communication virus had made her famous among Earth's new defense scientists. "The tissue samples are fascinating," she explained to a visiting researcher from Seoul. "Alien biology uses completely different principles from Earth life. Understanding it gives us huge advantages in developing new medical treatments." At the town hall, Lee Jun-ho coordinated with military officials from around the world. His small mountain town had become an important center for Earth's planetary defense network. Rural communities everywhere were sharing their successful tactics and captured technology. The Australian station reports similar success with the communication virus, he told the video conference. Rural resistance techniques are being taught to military units in 15 countries. Choi Min-ho had the busiest job of anyone. His radio and electronic skills made him essential for maintaining the global communication network that connected rural defense communities. His small garage was now filled with the most advanced communication equipment on Earth. "Signal strong from Montana," he reported. "The American farmers want to share their vehicle modification techniques with our teams." Han Soo-min ran a training academy in the mountains above the town. Military personnel from around the world came to learn precision shooting techniques and guerrilla tactics. Her small school had become one of Earth's most important training facilities. "Remember," she told a group of soldiers from different countries, "the key is knowing your terrain better than your enemy knows theirs. Technology is useful, but knowledge and determination win battles." Yoon Tae-hyun led expeditions throughout the Korean mountains, searching for hidden alien equipment and establishing new defensive positions. His knowledge of mountain terrain had proved so valuable that he now advised military planners across Asia. "We found another alien supply cache," he reported over his radio. "This one contains energy weapons and what looks like medical equipment." The town had rebuilt, but it was no longer just a farming community. Children still played in the streets, but they also learned about alien technology in school. Old people still sat outside shops playing Baduk, but they also discussed defensive strategies and weapon maintenance. The captured alien officer, who had become known as Vex, still lived in the town under careful guard. It had become an unexpected source of valuable intelligence about alien technology and psychology. "Your species is very unusual," Vex told Yoonji during one of their regular conversations. "Most conquered worlds surrender after losing their major cities, but humans fight harder when attacked." "That's because you attacked our homes," Yoonji explained. "Humans will do anything to protect their families and communities. This is not efficient," Vex observed. "Efficiency isn't everything," she replied. Reports came in regularly from around the world. The alien invasion had completely failed on Earth, but it had succeeded in uniting humanity in ways that peace never could. Rural communities that had been ignored by governments were now recognized as crucial parts of planetary defense. Do-hyun received a letter from the Korean president, thanking him and his community for their service. Similar letters went to rural defenders around the world. The people who had chosen quiet retirement from military service found themselves honored as heroes. "Strange how life works," he said to Junho as they walked through the town square. "We came here to get away from war, and war found us anyway." "But this time we were fighting for our homes," Junho replied. "That makes all the difference." The alien prisoner provided disturbing information about other species in the galaxy. Earth was apparently located in a region where several aggressive alien civilizations competed for territory. The failed invasion would definitely bring attention from other potential enemies. "More will come," Vex warned. "Earth is now marked as valuable target. Rich resources, strategic location. Let them come," Suman said confidently. "We'll be ready." And Earth was getting ready. The rural resistance techniques were being taught to military forces worldwide. Alien technology was being reverse-engineered and improved. Most importantly, Humanity had learned that their greatest strength was not advanced weapons but their ability to adapt, coordinate, and fight with determination. Minho monitored communications from space. Earth's new satellite network, built with modified alien technology, watched for any approaching threats. The planet that had seemed defenseless a few months ago was now one of the most dangerous worlds in the galaxy. 3 alien scout ships detected at the edge of the solar system, he reported. But they're keeping their distance. I think word has spread about what happened here. Yunji's research had led to breakthrough discoveries in biology and medicine. Alien technology, when combined with human creativity, produced amazing results. The medical treatments developed from alien biology were helping people all over Earth. Taehyun established a network of hidden supply caches and defensive positions throughout the Korean mountains. Other countries were doing the same. If aliens ever invaded again, they would face resistance from every hill, forest, and valley on the planet. The children of Baekdu Valley grew up learning both traditional farming and advanced military tactics. They studied alien technology alongside mathematics and literature. They were being prepared for a future where Earth would never again be surprised by alien attack. Will the aliens come back? Little Jisoo asked Sumin during one of their lessons. Maybe, Sumin answered honestly. But if they do, we'll be ready. And they'll discover that attacking Earth is the worst mistake any alien species can make. 6 months after the invasion, alien intelligence reports began circulating through the galaxy. Earth was classified as a Class X defensive world, a planet too dangerous for standard invasion protocols. The reports described humans as warriors disguised as farmers, and warned that Earth's rural areas contained the galaxy's most effective guerrilla fighters. Vextar, the alien commander who had led the failed invasion, was interrogated by his own government. His reports described humans in terms that shocked alien leaders. They do not fight like any species we have encountered, he reported. Their warriors choose to live peacefully, but when attacked, they become more dangerous than any professional military. They use their own planet as a weapon. The Corvan Empire officially marked Earth as unsuitable for conquest and warned other alien civilizations to avoid the system entirely. In Baekdu Valley, life continued peacefully. Farmers tended their crops, children played games, and families gathered for evening meals. But hidden weapons waited in every barn. Communication equipment connected every household to the global defense network, and the quiet people who had chosen mountain retirement remained ready to defend their world. The town looked exactly like it had before the invasion. The only difference was that now, everyone in the galaxy knew that the peaceful farmers of Earth were actually the most dangerous warriors in known space. And Park Do-yeon, Kim Yoonji, Lee Junho, Choi Minho, Han Sumin, and Yoon Tae-hyun continued their quiet lives, secure in the knowledge that they had helped save not just their town, but their entire planet. The mountain had struck back and the galaxy would never forget. Dawn came with the sound of coordinated explosions across the Korean mountains. 12 resistance towns launched their attacks at exactly the same moment, hitting alien forces that had gathered for what they thought would be final assaults. In Baekdu Valley, Do-hyun led the main attack force toward the alien staging area. His team had spent the night moving captured alien hover vehicles into position. The plan was bold and dangerous. They would use the aliens' own technology against them. Remember, he whispered to his fighters, we hit fast, take what we can, and get out. Don't try to hold ground. Sumin was already in position on the high ridge overlooking the valley. Her new sniper rifle had perfect range to the alien command ships. Through her scope, she could see alien officers moving around on the observation decks of their vessels. She took careful aim and fired. The special ammunition punched through the alien ship's hull and killed the commander instantly. Immediate chaos followed as the aliens tried to figure out where the shot had come from. Minho activated his jamming equipment, but this time he had help. Yoonji's biological virus had been loaded into captured alien communication devices. When he activated them, the virus spread through the alien network like a disease. Their communications are completely down, he reported. The virus is working better than we hoped. Taehyun emerged from a hidden cave directly behind the alien ground base. He had spent 2 days moving through underground passages that the aliens did not know existed. His team carried explosives and captured alien weapons. The attack on the alien base was devastating. Explosions destroyed their equipment storage, their vehicle repair facility, and their troop barracks. The aliens had no warning because their communication system was infected with Yunji's virus. But the real surprise was the hover vehicles. Do-hyun's team attacked and captured alien ships, but they had modified them with human weapons and tactics. The aliens expected their own vehicles to follow predictable flight patterns. Instead, these ships moved like the mountain fighters who piloted them, unpredictably and aggressively. "This is incredible." Captain Park radioed from his observation post. "You're flying those ships better than the aliens do." The battle quickly spread beyond the valley. Alien reinforcements tried to respond, but every time they moved toward one resistance town, another town would attack their flanks. The coordinated assault was working perfectly. Yunji led a team into the alien medical facility. Her knowledge of biology and medicine made her incredibly effective at sabotaging their life support systems. She also captured several injured aliens for interrogation. "Their medical technology is very advanced," she reported while working, "but they're not prepared for biological warfare. My virus is spreading to their medical computers, too." Suman moved to a new position and continued picking off alien officers. Her precision shooting was creating panic in the alien ranks. Every time a leader tried to organize resistance, a bullet from an impossible distance would eliminate them. "I count 15 confirmed officer kills," she radioed. "They're afraid to stand in the open now." The alien prisoner they had captured earlier watched the battle with growing amazement. The creatures had never seen anything like human coordination combined with guerrilla tactics. "Impossible," it kept saying. "Rural fighters cannot coordinate, cannot use technology, cannot what?" Hunyo asked while monitoring radio communications from other towns. "Cannot win," the alien finished quietly. But humans were winning. Reports came in from every resistance town. Alien forces were being pushed back, their equipment captured, their communication networks destroyed by Yunji's virus. Taehyun led a dangerous mission into the alien command ship itself. Using maintenance tunnels that the aliens did not guard properly, his team infiltrated the main vessel and planted explosives throughout the ship. 2 minutes until detonation, he radioed. "All teams clear the area." The explosion was spectacular. The main alien command ship broke apart in the air and crashed into the mountains. The remaining alien ships immediately began retreating. Minho intercepted their retreat communications. "They're calling for full evacuation. The virus has spread to their fleet communications. They can't coordinate anything anymore." Do-hyun's team chased the retreating aliens, using captured hover vehicles to attack them as they fled. The aliens were completely demoralized. They had come to destroy simple farming communities and instead found themselves fighting the most effective guerrilla army they had ever encountered. "This is Colonel Kim," the radio crackled. "All resistance towns report successful attacks. Alien forces are in full retreat across the entire region." Suman took one final shot as the last alien ship fled the valley. Her bullet destroyed their rear sensor array, ensuring they would have trouble navigating their escape. "That's for my students," she said with satisfaction. By afternoon, Baekdu Valley was free. The alien forces had been completely eliminated or driven away. More importantly, the coordinated attack had broken alien control across all of rural Korea. Yunji examined captured alien technology and prisoners. "They're a hive mind species," she explained. "When we destroyed their communications, we broke their ability to think collectively. Individual aliens don't know how to fight independently." This discovery explained why the rural resistance had been so effective. Humans were natural individual fighters who could also coordinate when needed. The aliens were the opposite. They could only fight as a collective. Taehyun led teams to search for any remaining alien equipment. "We found their main supply depot," he reported. "There's enough technology here to supply our defense for months." The captured alien officer provided crucial intelligence about their invasion plans. Earth was supposed to be easy conquest, it explained. Intelligence reports said humans were soft, divided, unable to fight effectively. "Your intelligence was wrong," Do-hyun said simply. "Yes," the alien agreed. "Very wrong." As evening approached, reports came in from Seoul and other major cities. With the rural attack successful, Korean military forces had been able to push alien forces out of urban areas as well. "The entire invasion is collapsing," Captain Park reported. Rural resistance broke their whole strategy. Minho established communication with resistance groups around the world. Similar patterns were emerging everywhere. Rural communities full of military veterans were defeating alien forces in every country. Montana farmers destroyed an alien base, he reported. Australian cattle ranchers captured 3 alien ships. Russian villagers eliminated an entire alien regiment. The alien invasion had made a critical error. They had assumed that rural humans would be easy targets. Instead, they had attacked the most dangerous human populations first. Communities full of experienced soldiers who had chosen peaceful retirement, but still remembered how to fight. Suman climbed to her favorite spot on the mountain ridge and looked out over the valley. The town was damaged but not destroyed. Most importantly, the people had survived and won. Think they'll come back? Taehyun asked, joining her on the ridge. Not here, she said confidently. We taught them that some places are too dangerous to attack. In the underground bunkers, Yoonji continued working with alien technology and prisoners. Her virus had not only defeated this invasion but created a defense against future alien communication systems. The battle for Baekdu Valley was over. The mountain had struck back and won, but more importantly, a small farming community had helped save the entire planet by proving that humans were far more dangerous than any alien intelligence had imagined. Minho's radio crackled with voices speaking Korean. After 3 days of fighting, he had finally made contact with the outside world. But the news was not what anyone expected. This is Colonel Kim from Gangwon Province, the voice said. Are you the resistance group in Baekdu Valley? Yes, sir, Minho replied. We have about 60 fighters and we've been holding our position against alien forces. Outstanding. We have similar reports from 12 other rural towns in your region. The aliens seem to be targeting isolated mountain communities first. Junho took the radio. Colonel, this is Mayor Lee Junho, former Intelligence Corps. What's the tactical situation? Better than we hoped. Every rural town the aliens have attacked has mounted serious resistance. Turns out a lot of our mountain communities are full of military veterans. The aliens picked the wrong targets. In her underground medical station, Yoonji smiled as she listened to the conversation. She was working on a captured alien communication device, trying to understand how their technology functioned. Her medical training helped her analyze the electronic systems like biological structures. I've been monitoring alien communications, she reported. They're calling our rural towns unexpected resistance points. They seem very confused about why farmers are fighting so effectively. Taehyun returned from a scouting mission with important news. I counted at least 30 new alien ships coming from the north. But I also saw something else. Korean military helicopters approaching from the south. Do-hyun gathered his fighters around the radio. Colonel, what kind of support can we expect? Limited. The aliens have air superiority over most areas, but we can supply you with better weapons and coordinate attacks between different towns. You've been doing excellent work with local resources. Suman had captured an alien officer during the morning raid. The creature was injured but alive, and Yoonji was using her medical skills to keep it conscious for questioning. It's trying to communicate, Yoonji said. I think it wants to make some kind of deal. The alien spoke in broken Korean. It had learned some words by listening to human communications. You, not farmers, it said with difficulty. You, soldiers, why you hide? Hyunyo answered. We're not hiding. We retired. We came here for peace. The alien's 4 eyes showed confusion. Soldiers choose peace? Not possible. Human soldiers can choose, Do-hyun explained. We fought our wars and then we chose to live quietly, until you attacked our homes. This concept seemed to break something in the alien's understanding. Its species apparently never stopped being soldiers once they started. Minho interrupted with urgent news from his radio. Colonel Kim reports that rural resistance is working all over Korea. The town of Jirisan held off 3 alien ships. Mountain communities near Seoraksan destroyed an entire alien ground base. The aliens are being forced to spread their forces very thin. What about the cities? Suman asked. Seoul and Busan are under heavy attack but holding. The aliens seem to have expected quick victory by destroying rural areas first. Instead, they're stuck fighting guerrilla wars in terrain they don't understand. The captured alien officer provided more disturbing information. Through broken Korean and hand gestures, it explained that this was a standard tactic. Destroy isolated communities first, then attack major cities while the population was demoralized. But your resistance? Not standard, the alien said. Rural humans supposed to be easy targets. Yoonji realized something important. They've done this to other planets. They have experienced destroying civilizations, but they've never fought humans before. That afternoon, the promised Korean military support arrived. 3 helicopters managed to land supplies in a clearing that Taehyun had marked as safe. Along with ammunition and medical supplies, they brought something even more valuable: communication equipment that could coordinate with other resistance towns. Captain Park, the military liaison, was amazed by what he found. Your defensive positions are excellent. Your casualty rates are incredibly low, and you've destroyed more alien equipment than some of our regular army units. We have advantages they don't, Do-hyun explained. We know this terrain perfectly. We've been fighting together for years in different conflicts, and we're defending our homes. The captain nodded. That's what we're seeing everywhere. Rural Korea is full of veterans who chose quiet retirement. The aliens accidentally attacked the most dangerous civilians on the planet. Minho established contact with resistance groups in other valleys. The picture that emerged was encouraging. Town after town of supposedly peaceful farmers was holding off alien forces. Many were actually winning. Gyeumsan Valley destroyed 2 alien ships with improvised rockets, he reported. Taebaek mountain communities have eliminated an entire alien regiment. The village of Yangyang captured enough alien technology to reverse engineer their weapons. Sumin received a special gift from the helicopter supplies, a sniper rifle designed to penetrate alien armor. She tested it immediately on an alien patrol that was investigating the landing site. The weapon was incredibly effective. With this, I can take out their ship crews from much longer range, she said with satisfaction. Yoonji made a breakthrough with the alien technology. Their communication systems use biological components, she explained. That's why my medical knowledge helps understand them. If I can isolate the biological parts, I might be able to create a virus that affects their entire communication network. The alien prisoner became more talkative as it recovered from its injuries. It seemed genuinely puzzled by human behavior. Your warriors, they heal enemies? It asked, watching Yoonji treat its wounds. Human warriors have honor, she replied. We don't kill prisoners who can't fight. Not efficient, the alien observed. Maybe not, Junho said, but it's who we are. As evening approached, scouts reported that alien reinforcements were taking position around all the valley exits. The creatures were preparing for a major assault. They're going to try to finish us with overwhelming force, Do-hyun analyzed. But they're also concentrating their troops in areas where we can hit them. Taehyun studied the alien positions through binoculars. They're making the same mistake they made before. They think like conquerors, not like guerrilla fighters. They want to control ground instead of controlling movement. The radio brought news from other resistance towns. Similar alien buildups were happening everywhere. The creatures had decided to end the rural resistance with massive coordinated attacks. This could be our chance, Captain Park said. If all the rural towns hit them simultaneously, we might break their entire invasion force. Minho worked frantically to coordinate timing with other resistance groups. The plan was ambitious. Every defended town would launch their strongest attack at exactly the same time. The aliens would face overwhelming resistance from every direction. All towns report ready, Minho announced. Attack begins at dawn. The alien prisoner listened to these preparations with growing alarm. You, coordinate? Impossible. Rural units never coordinate. You really don't understand humans, Suman said. We're full of surprises. That night, the defenders of Baekdu Valley prepared for their biggest battle. They had proven that aliens could be defeated by determination and local knowledge. Tomorrow they would prove that human coordination could defeat alien technology. The mountain communities of Korea were about to show the galaxy what happened when you attacked the wrong planet. The alien commander stood in what used to be the town square. Fextar examined the destruction his forces had caused and felt satisfied. The human settlement was burning and his troops were searching for survivors. Everything was proceeding according to standard cleansing protocols. But something was wrong. Commander, one of his officers reported through the communication device. Squad 7 has not responded for 30 minutes. Bextar's 4 eyes narrowed. Send Squad 3 to investigate. High above the valley, more alien ships arrived. The commander had called for additional troops after losing contact with his ground teams. These humans were supposed to be simple farmers, but 6 of his soldiers were already dead or missing. In the mountain caves, Do-hyun studied a map of the valley that Taehyun had drawn. Every path, every hiding spot, every dangerous area was marked in detail. The narrow pass near Eagle Rock, Taehyun explained. pointing to a spot on the map. "If we can get them to chase us through there, the whole cliff face is unstable. It would not take much to bring it down." Yunji looked up from treating a wounded fighter. "I examined the alien we killed yesterday. Their body structure is different from ours. They're stronger, but their joints are weaker. A precise shot to the knee will disable them completely." Minho had been working all night on captured alien communication equipment. "I can interfere with their signals for about 10 minutes at a time," he said. "But we need to time it perfectly." Suman checked her rifle. She had modified it with parts from the alien weapons they had captured. "I can hit their ship sensors from the ridge above the town. That should make them angry enough to send ground troops after me." Junho organized the plan. Despite his injuries, the mayor's intelligence training made him their natural strategist. "We hit them in 3 places at once. Suman takes out their sensors. Taihyun leads them into the pass, and Dohyun's team hits their main base. Mino jams their communications so they can't coordinate." As dawn broke, the aliens sent out larger patrols. They were being more careful now, but they still did not understand the terrain they were fighting in. Squad 3 moved through the forest below Eagle Rock. 12 alien soldiers advanced in formation, their weapons ready. They had found the bodies of Squad 7 crushed under a massive boulder, and they were angry. Above them, Taihyun waited in perfect stillness. He had prepared this trap carefully. Explosives from the mining supply store were placed at key points along the cliff face. When the aliens were directly below, he would bring down half the mountain on top of them. The alien patrol leader stopped and examined the ground. Strange marks in the dirt caught his attention. Before he could warn his troops, Taehyun pressed the detonator. The explosion was enormous. Tons of rock crashed down into the narrow pass, crushing the alien patrol and blocking the path completely. The sound echoed across the entire valley. At the same moment, Suman's rifle cracked from the ridge. Her bullet struck the main sensor array on the largest alien ship. Sparks flew from the damaged equipment, and the ship began spinning slowly in the air. The aliens responded exactly as Junho had predicted. Angry troops poured out of the ships and began climbing toward Suman's position. She let them see her briefly, then disappeared into the rocks like smoke. Minho activated his jamming equipment. All alien communications in the valley went silent. Their troops on the ground could not contact their ships, and their ships could not coordinate with each other. Down in the town, Do-hyun led 8 fighters toward the alien command post. They moved through destroyed buildings and burned streets, using the smoke and rubble for cover. Each person carried explosives and weapons taken from dead aliens. The command post was set up in the old-school building. 20 alien soldiers guarded it, but they were confused without their communications. Do-hyun's team struck from 3 directions at once. The battle was fast and brutal. Human knowledge of the building layout gave them a huge advantage. They knew every door, every window, every hiding spot. The aliens were powerful, but they were fighting in an environment they did not understand. Yoonji had joined this attack, carrying medical supplies and weapons. When she saw an alien soldier raising his weapon toward young Ji-won, one of her former students, she put 3 bullets in the creature's chest. Her medical knowledge told her exactly where to aim for maximum damage. The aliens tried to call for help, but Minho's jamming made their radios useless. They fought hard, but human determination and local knowledge won the battle. When the smoke cleared, the command post was in human hands. Suman led the alien pursuit through a maze of mountain paths that Taehyun had taught her. The creatures were fast and strong, but they did not know where they were going. She led them past hidden explosive traps, through areas where loose rocks could be triggered to fall, and finally to a deep cave system. The aliens followed her into the caves, thinking they had her trapped. Instead, they found themselves in complete darkness in an underground maze. Suman knew these caves from childhood exploration. She moved through them silently while the aliens stumbled around, firing their weapons at shadows. One by one, she picked them off. A shot from the darkness, then movement to a new position. The aliens' superior technology meant nothing in the absolute blackness of the deep caves. By afternoon, the alien losses were severe. 3 patrol groups destroyed, their command post captured, their main ship damaged, and communications cut. Vextar realized he was not fighting farmers. These humans were skilled warriors who knew their territory better than any off-world species could. "Send message to the fleet," he ordered his remaining communication officer. "Request immediate reinforcement. Enemy resistance is much stronger than intelligence reports indicated." But Minho intercepted that message. He had learned enough about alien communication systems to understand their basic meaning. "They're calling for help," he reported to the others. "More ships are coming." Junho nodded grimly. "Then we need to hit them harder before reinforcements arrive." That night, human teams struck all over the valley. They destroyed alien equipment, rescued captured civilians, and eliminated small groups of enemy soldiers. The aliens had expected to finish their cleansing operation in one day. Instead, they found themselves trapped in a guerrilla war against an enemy that seemed to appear from nowhere and disappear just as quickly. Taehyun led a team that destroyed 2 alien supply shuttles. Sumin eliminated sentries with precise sniper fire. Dohyun's group captured alien weapons and communication equipment. Yoonji not only treated wounded fighters but also interrogated captured aliens to learn about their technology and tactics. The aliens tried to adapt. They stayed in larger groups and avoided the narrow mountain passes. But the humans adapted faster. They used captured alien weapons, learned to move like shadows through familiar terrain, and coordinated their attacks with growing skill. In his command ship, Vextar studied reports from his surviving troops. The humans were not just resisting, they were winning. His forces had been cut in half, his equipment was being captured, and his soldiers were afraid to patrol alone. "What kind of farmers are these?" his second-in-command asked. Vextar did not answer. He was beginning to suspect that these were not farmers at all, but something much more dangerous. The question was whether his reinforcements would arrive before his current forces were completely destroyed. In the mountain bunkers, the human defenders prepared for the next phase of the battle. They had proven that the aliens could be defeated. Now they had to hold their ground until help arrived, or until they had eliminated every invader in their valley. The mountain was striking back, and the aliens were learning that some prey was too dangerous to hunt. The attack came at dawn. Dohyun was making coffee when the first energy blast hit the town hall. The building exploded in bright blue light, sending chunks of concrete flying through the air. The sound was like thunder, but sharper and more frightening. All over Baekdu Valley, people woke up to the sound of destruction. More blue energy beams came down from the ships floating above the town. They hit the police station, the main bridge, and several houses on the east side. From his garage, Minho watched in horror as his neighbor's house disappeared in a flash of light. The family inside, Mr. and Mrs. Lee and their 2 children, were gone in seconds. Anger filled his chest as he grabbed his radio equipment and ran toward the mountain caves his father had shown him years ago. Yoonji was already moving. She had slept in her clothes after yesterday's strange events. Her military training kicked in immediately. She grabbed her medical supplies and the emergency radio from her clinic. Outside, she could see people running in panic as more energy beams struck buildings around the town. The alien ships were huge, at least 200 meters long and shaped like sharp triangles. They moved without sound, floating above the valley like metal clouds. Smaller ships flew between them, firing at anything that moved. Taehyun was already in the mountains when the attack started. He watched from a hidden spot as the aliens destroyed his farmhouse. Years of work disappeared in bright light, but instead of despair, he felt cold anger. These creatures had made a serious mistake. At the destroyed town hall, Junho crawled out from under a collapsed wall. Blood ran down his face, but he was alive. Around him, he could see other survivors moving through the smoke and dust. The aliens had hit the main buildings first, but many people had escaped. "This way," he shouted to a group of families running past. "Follow me to the old mine entrance." During the Cold War, the government had built secret bunkers in these mountains. As mayor, Junho was one of the few people who knew about them. The heavy doors were hidden behind fake rock walls and the tunnels went deep underground. Dohyun appeared through the smoke, carrying Mrs. Kim on his back. The old woman was hurt but alive. "How many made it out?" he asked Junho. "Maybe half the town. The aliens hit fast, but not everyone was in the buildings they targeted." More energy blasts lit up the morning sky. The aliens were being thorough, destroying anything that looked important. But they were making their attacks from high above, and many people were escaping to the forests and caves. Sumin had been awake early, preparing lessons for school. When the attack started, she immediately thought of her students. She ran through the burning streets, checking houses where her pupils lived. She found the Min family trapped under debris and helped them escape. Little Jisoo was crying, but she was not hurt. "Teacher, what's happening?" Jisoo asked. "Bad people are trying to hurt our town." Suman said simply. But we're going to stop them. In the underground bunker, survivors gathered around Minho's radio equipment. He had managed to save his most important devices and was trying to contact the outside world. I'm getting responses from Seoul, he reported. The aliens aren't just here. They're attacking rural towns all over Korea, maybe all over the world. Yoonji set up a medical station in one of the bunker's side rooms. She had 12 injured people to treat, including Mayor Junho and 3 children. Her supplies were limited, but her experience was vast. We need to know what we're fighting, she said while bandaging a cut on Junho's head. I need to examine their technology, maybe even one of their soldiers. Above ground, the aliens landed troops. Strange creatures in metal suits walked through the burning town. They were tall and thin, with forearms and heads that looked like insects. Their weapons fired the same blue energy that their ships used. Taehyun watched them from his hiding spot in the rocks. These aliens moved carefully but not expertly. They acted like soldiers, but soldiers who had never fought against real resistance. They expected the humans to either be dead or running away in terror. They were wrong. Do-hyun had found the hidden weapons cache in the bunker. Years ago, the government had stored military equipment here in case of war. Rifles, ammunition, explosives, and communication gear waited in sealed containers. How many of us have military training? He asked the 40 people now gathered in the bunker. 15 hands went up. Veterans from different units and different wars, but all trained to fight. What about hunting experience? He asked next. 20 more hands rose. This was a mountain town where many people hunted for food and sport. Good, Do-hyun said with a hard smile. These aliens think they're attacking helpless farmers. Let's show them who they're really dealing with. Junho organized the non-combatants. Old people, children, and those too injured to fight would stay deep in the bunker system. The tunnels were extensive and had multiple exits. Even if the aliens found them, the people could escape through the mountains. Minho worked frantically on his equipment. I'm picking up their communications, he announced. Their language is strange, but their technology uses patterns I can recognize. I might be able to interfere with their signals. Suman took inventory of the weapons. Along with the military rifles, there were hunting weapons, explosives for mining, and tools that could become weapons. It was not much against alien technology, but it was a start. Outside, the alien soldiers were getting confident. They moved through the town in small groups, checking buildings and shooting anything that moved. They found some hiding families and killed them without mercy. But they also made mistakes. Taehyun moved like a ghost through terrain he knew better than his own house. He followed a group of 6 aliens as they walked toward the old church. The creatures stayed on the main path, never thinking that someone might be watching from the rocks above. When they were directly below him, Taehyun pushed a large boulder down the slope. It hit the aliens with tremendous force, crushing 3 of them instantly. The others looked up in confusion, but Taehyun was already gone, moving to his next position. In the bunker, everyone heard the sound of the boulder impact through Minho's radio interception. The alien communications became excited and angry. They're not expecting resistance, Yoonji observed. That might be our biggest advantage, Do-hyun nodded. We need to hit them fast and hard, then disappear. Make them afraid to move around our territory. The battle for Baekdu Valley was just beginning. The aliens had destroyed buildings and killed innocent people. But they had also awakened something dangerous, a community of warriors who would not surrender their home without a fight. As night fell, the alien ships still floated above the burning town. But in the darkness of the mountains, human eyes watched and planned. The hunters were about to become the hunted. The morning sun painted the mountains around Baekdu Valley in golden light. Park Do-hyun opened his hardware store like he had every day for the past 5 years. The small bell above his door rang as he stepped outside to sweep the front steps. His hands were rough from years of work, but his eyes stayed sharp. Old habits from his military days never left him. Down the street, Kim Yoonji loaded medical supplies into her small truck. As the town's only veterinarian and doctor, she had a busy day ahead. Mrs. Kim's cow was having trouble, and little Minji had scraped her knee badly yesterday. Yoonji checked her watch and smiled. She loved this quiet life, so different from the chaos of the military hospitals where she used to work. At the town hall, Lee Junho read through morning reports. Being mayor of a small mountain town was peaceful work compared to his old job in intelligence. He knew most of the 2,000 people who lived here. Many were like him, former soldiers who chose this quiet valley to find peace after years of service. The sound of hammering came from Choi Minho's garage. He was fixing Mr. Park's old truck while listening to his radio. Minho loved electronics and radios. His father had fought in the Korean War and taught him that communication could save lives. The young man had strange equipment all over his workshop. Antennas, receivers, and devices that could pick up signals from very far away. Han Sumin walked her students to the playground behind the school. She taught the town's children with patience and kindness. The children did not know that their gentle teacher could hit a target from 800 meters away. Sumin kept her rifle skills sharp by hunting in the mountains, but she never talked about her military service. High up on the mountain slopes, Yoon Tae-hyun checked his potato fields. Farming was hard work, but he enjoyed the simple life. His knowledge of every path, cave, and stream in these mountains came from years of mountain rescue work. Tae-hyun could move through this terrain in complete darkness and never get lost. The town looked completely normal. Children played in the streets. Old men sat outside shops playing baduk. Women hung laundry in their small yards. No one could guess that this peaceful valley was home to some of Korea's best former soldiers. Around 10 in the morning, things began to change. Minho was adjusting his radio when strange sounds came through his speakers. The static was wrong. He had never heard electromagnetic patterns like this before. He tried different frequencies, but the weird signals kept appearing. His hands moved quickly over his equipment as he tried to understand what was happening. Tae-hyun noticed it first in the mountains. His cows were acting strange. They bunched together and would not move to their usual grazing spots. Birds flew away from the valley in large groups. Even the insects seemed to disappear. Something was making the animals nervous. Do-hyun felt it too. Walking to the post office, he noticed how quiet everything had become. His military training had taught him to trust his instincts. Something was wrong, but he could not identify what it was. He started paying attention to small details. The way people moved. Unusual sounds, anything out of place. At the medical clinic, Yoonji finished treating Mrs. Park's cat when her radio crackled with emergency frequencies. She kept monitoring equipment for medical emergencies, but these signals were different. They were coming from the sky, not from other towns or hospitals. Junho was in a meeting with the town council when Minho burst through the door. The young man's face was pale and worried. "Sir, you need to hear this," Minho said, holding up a small radio. Strange sounds came from the speaker. Not music or voices, but something that sounded almost like communication. "What is it?" Junho asked. "I don't know, but it's not from Earth. The patterns are wrong. The frequency use is completely different from anything human technology creates." The room went quiet. These men were not easily scared. They had all seen combat and faced real danger. But something about those sounds made them very uncomfortable. "How long have you been picking this up?" Junho asked. "About an hour. It's getting stronger." Outside, the normal sounds of the town continued. But for those who knew how to listen, everything was changing. Sumin was teaching her afternoon class when she saw the first lights. They were small at first, just tiny dots high up in the clear blue sky. She stopped talking and watched them carefully. The children noticed and turned to look too. "Teacher, what are those?" asked little Jiwoo. Sumin's heart started beating faster. Those lights were moving in formation. They were too high and too coordinated to be airplanes. She knew military aircraft patterns, and this was something else. "Children, we're going to play a special game today," she said in a calm voice. "Everyone needs to go home to their families right now. Walk quickly, but don't run." The children sensed her seriousness and obeyed without questions. Sumin locked the school and ran toward the town center. By 3 in the afternoon, the lights were clearly visible to everyone. They hung in the sky like bright stars, but they were moving slowly across the valley. More appeared every few minutes. Do-hyun closed his store early and walked to the town hall. He found Junho, Minho, and several other men gathered around radio equipment. The strange signals were now loud and clear. "We need to evacuate the town," said Mr. Han, who ran the grocery store. "And go where?" Junho replied. "If these things are everywhere, running won't help. We need to understand what we're dealing with first." Yoonji arrived with her medical emergency bag. "I've been monitoring all frequencies. Whatever these are, they're scanning us. The electromagnetic activity is focused on our town specifically." Taehyun came down from the mountains with news that made everyone more worried. "I counted at least 30 of those lights. They're moving in a search pattern over the entire valley. This isn't random." As evening approached, the lights came lower. They were clearly vehicles of some kind, smooth, metallic objects that made no sound. The townspeople gathered in small groups. watching the sky with growing fear. Do-hyun looked at his neighbors and friends. Many of them were scared, but he also saw familiar expressions on certain faces. These were the faces of soldiers preparing for battle. "Whatever happens next," he said quietly to Junho, "we're not helpless farmers. They picked the wrong town." The night was about to become very interesting.